What is up, everybody? I appreciate the quick response to hopping on. 2 seconds ago, I said I was going to do this, and already the chat is flooded, so I appreciate you coming on. I love, by the way, someone saying right off the bat, it's the J.R. Jim Ross, oh my God, that's Jupin's music. Well, that's all of our music. That's just the WHM theme song. Nice dad sweater. Thank you. I fucking love this sweater. I'm a fan of a big sweater. Um, and this is about as big as I'll get right now, sweater wise. So, how's everybody doing? Welcome to WHM Office Hours, of course. This is where I hang around. Hopefully, don't fuck up this technology too much and answer some questions for you. As promised, here is literally the tall glass of water. Unfortunately for some, I guess, sober as a judge this evening. What's in the glass? Seltzer. Homemade seltzer from my soda stream. Um, did not get paid to plug soda stream like that. I do love it though. So let's get some questions. Are you drinking moonshine out of a jar like a hillbilly? Well, as I clearly just stated, it's water, but I did want to read that. That's funny. Hail hydrate, also pretty funny. I got to tell you, gang, I just finished working on uploading this little fella. Um, at the stroke of midnight Eastern, we will, of course, be dropping the final Some of the Worst of 2018 episode with Fantastic Beasts 2, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Um, and I got to tell you, I was pretty displeased with that film, to say the least, as a fan of those franchises and whatnot. Um, Thoughts on Liam Neeson? Yeah, that dude fucked up. I think the funny thing about that story, if there's anything funny to get out of it, if he just said he was looking around looking to kill people, then I'd just be like, well, that's just crazy Liam Neeson. But now it's like, dude, that's just like racist horseshit. Um, so yeah, that was some bad news about Liam Neeson. I think his snowplow movie is going to be in some trouble. Am I currently wearing pants? Yes. This is not that kind of live stream. Thank you very much. Veronica says that she's so excited for the new episode. Cool. I think a lot of people are excited. You should be. I'm excited to share it with the world. Um, the Crimes of Bindlethwump. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with that name, but what are you gonna do? Have I seen Alita Battle Angel yet? Reviews don't look good. I have not. My cohort, Christopher Cabin, who is not here, um, has seen it. I think he saw it. Maybe not. And said he was. No, you know what? I think in true Chris Cabin fashion, now that I'm remembering right, he missed the screening, I think was the idea. Um, let's see. Do I accept tokens? No, I do not. Can't wait for Boston show. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for having us back. We're really excited to be back in Boston. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're talking about Knowing there, which is going to be great. I saw that movie in the theater. How many tickets to lose the pants? Again, man, the pants are staying on, unfortunately. Are we going to do an Oscars podcast? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's time in the schedule, unfortunately. In one word, should you see Roma? Yes. The word is yes. Um, a live show in Canada? Yeah, we're really trying to figure that out. Hopefully, sometime this year. I don't know, but Canada is in the cards. Oh boy, people saying stream is going back out of sync, which is a real bummer. So maybe I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. Somebody mentioned something about that OBS timestamp thing. I can't find that in this feed. So, like I mentioned, by the way, I'm still playing with this tech, so I'm sorry that it's fucking up again so fast. But if you use OBS and have a way to make me hip to this use or not using timestamps thing, I'd really appreciate it. At Jupin on Twitter or wheelhatemovies at gmail.com. People saying you want Marty. She is fast asleep. Come to Vancouver. We would love that. Toronto also I love fucking Toronto, man. come to Montreal and do WHM in French. Uh, we detest cinema. Yeah. I believe I have the highest knowledge of French out of the four of us, and it's pretty lacking, to say the least. Ever consider Florida? Um, yeah, we've considered Florida. We got to figure that out at some point. Do office hours get saved to the channel? Yes, they do when I don't delete them due to tech problems. Um, but because so many people are being supportive here, I guess I'll keep this one up as I work through this fucking tech nightmare. Hiya, Andrew. Hi, Spiros. Phoenix, Arizona, maybe. Why was Bad Boys chosen for the Patreon app? WHM or WLM? Great question. I have not seen that first movie since maybe high school. I remember liking it a lot. I think it might be like a 50-50. We love movies, we hate movies. Is this Twitch? Play a game, please. It's not Twitch, but I know I'm always late to the party on video games. I finally bought that Spider-Man game on PS4. Fuck me, that is fun. That is a fun ass game. Any new criterions and opinions on the Princess Bride? I just bought the Mikey and Nikki criterion. I mentioned that in the Big Daddy Dispatch this month. It's an Elaine May movie starring John Cassavetes and Peter Boyle. Or Peter Boyle, oh my God. Peter Falk. Much worse movie, I think, if Peter Boyle's in it. No, Cassavetes and Peter Falk. It's fucking awesome. Written and directed by Elaine May. You should pick that up. Nathan Rabin wrote an essay for it that's in the little booklet. It's very cool. Um, I like the pick of what women want to go with the release of what men want. Yep. That is our forward planning thinking here. That's all Steve Sadak. Spider-Man PS4 is fun as fuck. That is for sure. Tall glass of vodka. Oh my lord, no way. Can't do the vodka. Since Eric was on Junk Food Cinema, would you consider being on that or any other podcast? Absolutely. Um, we go on other people's podcasts all the time. Steve was just on Talking Simpsons. And I've been on the Nathan Rabin's Happy Cast, and I think Eric has. Yeah, Eric has, and Steve has. So we guest around on podcasts. Let's see. Did I sign up for the Criterion channel? Yes, immediately. I also know that Mikey and Nikki was their first release on there. I love the folks at Janus Criterion. They're good people. It's going to be a good time. Ever been to a drive-in? Yes, several times. I grew up in the suburbs. We went to the drive-ins a lot. Best looking 4K movie I watched at home. That is without a doubt 2001: A Space Odyssey. Thoughts on the trailer for Jordan Peele's Us? Fucking shit my pants in the theater. Cannot wait for that movie. I hope to catch it at South by this year if I can get into that screening. Have I ever fucked a puppet? Well, no, sir, I have not fucked a puppet. Um, should hop on the Dead Meat channel. What's that all about? WHM Blank Check crossover. Yeah, we did that. Steve and I were on there. Blank Check with Griffin and David. We were talking about Total Recall, I believe. Good dudes, good podcast. Is Notting Hill a WHM or a WLM? I've never seen it. I think my wife would argue it's a WLM. Um, how about that Super Bowl? Am I right? Yeah, boring ass game. I sort of watched half paying attention. What's going to win Best Picture? Fuck, man. I hope it's not Green Book, but that's the way it's looking. And what should win Best Picture? Well, what should win Best Picture? I don't know. It was like my favorite movie of the year, Shoplifters. It was not even nominated for that. Um, how did you get your amazing radio voice that you didn't quite have for the first few WHM episodes? Interesting. I can't go back and listen to that old stuff. I find it quite embarrassing. So I don't know what I sound like. Also, I'll say the ravages of time. We've been doing this show for a long time. And I've just become older and haggard and grayer and whatever. Hobbs and Shaw, yay or nay? Unfortunately, friend, that's a yay. That is a hard yay for me. I don't know what the fuck Idris Elba's like injecting into his spine or whatever. That looks dumb as shit. But yeah, I'm excited for that movie. Would you ever re-record the Lost Pilot episode? We did. We redid that episode a while back. It's on a movie called Wired. It's a John Belushi biopic starring Michael Chiklis. Um, would you ever consider doing Fateful Findings, or is that too the roomish? Yeah, that's that Neil Breen guy. I don't know anything about that person. I've never seen any of his movies. Um, but it feels like a The Room situation. Um, Happy Death Day to You. Yeah, I didn't see that first one. Would I be lost? No, I've actually heard good things about the first one. I do want to see it. Wow, you guys are just going so fast. I love it. I'm just trying to catch whatever I can here. From Justin to Kelly, an episode for how hilariously of its time and dated it is. Probably. I remember projecting that movie back in the day and couldn't really watch it then. Neil Breen defies analysis. That's okay. Would you do Solo for a side order of sleaze? My goodness. Maybe. I don't know if we ever resurrect that show. Come to Washington. D.C., we're coming. That's happening. If you mean Washington State, we're trying to figure that out. On our last tour of the Northwest, we sort of got shut out of Seattle, so better luck the next time we try to figure that out. Do we really need a new Batman movie? I don't know. I'm always kind of hip to new Batman, but I guess not right away. Unless you're doing old ass Batman. Here's the thing, I'm not the first one who has said this. It's not my idea. I'm not taking credit for it, but I agree with it. Fucking cast Michael Keaton. Older, wiser Bruce Wayne. It would be badass, and Keaton would fucking nail it, dude. Favorite projection booth story? Oh Lord, that's a whole other office hours. One time on New Year's Eve, a print of the Tom Hanks movie Castaway broke down, and we couldn't get it fixed. And a mob of like 400 people who were having their New Year's Eve ruined tried to literally like break down the door that led up the stairs into the projection booth. To do what? I don't know. Maybe draw and quarter the projectionist. It was a real shit show. Samurai Batman anime for WHM. Yeah, I tried to watch that. I got like 20 minutes into it. Did not care for it. Speaking of Michael Keaton, thoughts on Birdman, the Alejandro Inarritu movie? I liked it, man. I know a lot of people did not. I can't say as I've ever really gone back to it. I have not. Um, oh shit, bro! It's the Joker. Yeah, I don't. That Batman time travel thing was just stupid city. I don't know. I could not get into it. Any movies that almost made it into the worst of 2018 but didn't quite? Um, yeah, there was a few. I'm like racking my brain right now trying to think of them, but I can't right now. I mean, there were, yeah. Um, Thoughts of live action Cowboy Bebop? Okay. Animated Cowboy Bebop isn't for me either, but if that's gonna make people happy, that's cool too. Um, let's see. Yeah, I have heard of the peanut butter solution. Actually, a lot of people request that. I've never seen it though. Thought you guys were going to do Gotti. Thank you. That's one. So that was one that was rejected because it was boring as sin. Sometimes, when a movie's bad, just because it's bad isn't like an automatic, entry into making it an episode. And a couple of the guys on the show just thought it was way too slow, not a lot going on. And, sometimes like, just fucking punching down on John Travolta isn't fun for me. So I was happy to sort of skip that. Loved Annihilation, right up there with Ex Machina. Yeah, that was a great movie, totally underrated. Everybody should see that. Um, yeah, let's see. Sherlock Gnomes for worst of 2018. Yeah, I think Chris Cabin watched that, and it was sort of considered to be like a one note joke and not really an episode. Please do an all We Love Movies spectacular. That's not a half bad idea. We have been throwing that around. Um, no promises, but that is something that's in consideration. For us newbies, what's the room situation? Great question. So we sort of have like a little list in the back of our heads, movies that we just won't do episodes on because they've been done to death. So The Room is sort of like the biggest example of that. Like everybody's heard of how terrible The Room is. All of the jokes have been made. We don't think that we could add anything to the conversation. So we just sort of said we're never going to do The Room. Similarly with like Troll 2. Like they literally made a documentary about how bad Troll 2 is. So that's sort of been covered. Finish Twilight, yes. The commentaries will finish in 2019, I believe. How many do we have left? Fuck me. Yeah, only two left, right? Right? Two left. There's 5 movies. We've done 3. Yeah, so I think we're going to finish those commentaries out in 2019. Oogie Loves for WHM. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is an Oogie Loves? Please do Goodfellas as we love movies. Yeah, that might be something. You believe Eckhart was in Troll too? Oh my god. R.I.P.D. Pat Hingle. Thoughts on the Pet Cemetery remake with John Progresso Soup Lithgow? Yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it. Sure, we're just remaking Stephen King shit. Whatever. We Love Movies, High Tension. I don't love that movie. It's just a movie I saw, and that's the best I could say about it. Problem Child 2, I think, is on the docket for sometime soon. How many tall glasses of water so far? Just this little jug of seltzer, friend. Nothing going on tonight. Only do Oogie Loves if we will tape ourselves dancing to it. Okay. I don't know. How did RIPD become a thing anyway? Well, that movie RIPD came out, and we just started using RIPD in place of RIP, kind of like sarcastically. So it's weird. Like you wouldn't say like, uh, like JFK RIPD. But if like a character got killed in a movie or something, RIPD is sort of the idea. Will we cover RIPD? Quite possibly. That movie's deserving of it. Garbage Pail Kids movie for We Hate Movies. I tried to watch that one time, precisely one time, and I think I turned it off after like 15 minutes. How about one of the final destinations for an episode? Yeah, I think that's definitely happening. Eric watched the whole franchise for some reason. Um, will the early commentaries ever be put on the Patreon drive? No plans to do that at this time. What did I think of Jeff Bridges bringing the dude back for a barely passable beer? Yeah, I had conflicted emotions about that. One, it was awesome seeing him do it. But then two, when he held up a Stella Artois, I almost fucking vomited. I really don't like that beer. Where's the catch him in bed with a thing come from? Well, that is from the president's favorite journalist, Alex Jones. There's some clip of him talking about like goblins or something, and he literally says, "Catch him in bed with a goblin." So it's just us like making fun of that prick. So yeah, that's just sort of where it came from. I don't know what the circumstances were behind him saying "catch him in bed with a goblin," but it's Alex Jones. Is Men in Black International going to be a chore to sit through? I don't know. I think it looks kind of funny. Oh, sorry. Disney's Mr. Magoo for We Hate Movies. Oh, fuck, the Leslie Nielsen live action movie? I totally forgot that existed. That's Leslie Nielsen, right? Yeah. Speaking of RIPD, can we get Gamer in 2019? Is that the Gerard Butler movie? That's possible. New Twilight Zone, psyched. I just saw that trailer tonight. I missed it during the Super Bowl. Jordan Peele's a fucking genius. I can't wait. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen in the late 90s, right? That's kind of a bummer. Thoughts on Blood In, Blood Out? I don't know what it is. That's my thought. Apologies for that noise. It's 11:30 at night and my neighbors are sawing something. That's cool. Best Dick Miller movie? Motherfucker was in like over 100 movies. That's really tough. I just recently saw Rock and Roll High School again, um, which is a lot of fun. He's funny in that. Um, yes, R.I.P.D. Dick Miller, indeed. Um, Anything by that fucking genital wart Dinesh D'Souza. No, fuck that guy, but I'm not going to give any more attention to him. I'm not going to waste show time. Um, bring back friends of the show, Justin J. Case and Sean Weiner. You know, whenever we can have our buddies in studio, we try to. Justin J. Case lives in the great city of Chicago, so we don't get to see him too often. And Sean Weiner just got back from running around the Sundance Film Festival. But you know, we try to have our buds on when we can. The Apartment, We Love Movies. That would be interesting. I wonder if that's a movie we could make jokes out of. I bet we could. Flubber has Ted Levine? Oh, fuck. The Robin Williams? I didn't know that. Anything with WHM superstar Jim Belushi coming up soon? Not on the docket. You know, we sort of tapped out of a lot of the bigger Belushi movies, so the ones that are left we want to kind of hang on to, I guess. Break in case of glass, in case of ratings problems or something. What was the deal with that Cracked video that you and Steve made? Did you make many of those? Yeah, we used to do a lot of internet vids back in the day. That was something that Cracked hired us to do. It was something that they wrote. They did a whole week of like Batman sketches. It was before The Dark Knight came out, so holy crap, that's over 10 years ago. We did that video. It was really cool, though. We got to work with the great Will Hines, one of the fucking funniest people I've ever seen do anything comedy related. So that was pretty cool. Dinesh D'Snoozer. Yes, that is an Eric joke. That's an Eric Siska dad pun. Thinking of Jim Belushi, did you see Solar's Point? I did not. Chris Cabin did. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Streets of Fire? No, not an episode. Fun movie. No. Um, is there anything you guys haven't done? Yeah, tons of stuff. That's what's kind of great. There's always material for We Hate Movies. Um, do I have any guilty pleasure movies? For sure. I actually legitimately like watching the movie Chud. Angels in the Outfield. Oh, that could be something. Oh, Dermot Mulroney's the deadbeat dad in that movie. How about that? What's the thing in that movie? Tony Danza's got like lung cancer at the end or something? And Christopher Lloyd's like, no, he's not long for this earth or something like that. Like, I'm coming back to take him one day. Someone wants to know what made the Atlanta venue so bad. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it too much. It just there was a little bit of mismanaged things. Wasn't great. Also, wasn't great that the venue was sort of like sharing a kitchen with a diner. That was kind of strange. Um, but other than that, we did have a great time in Atlanta, and we will come back at some point. Just not to that venue, I don't think. Have we ever argued about how we're not doing an episode on a certain movie when one of the other guys wants to do it? No, there's never been an argument. We've always sort of had a rule. Like if someone deems something not an episode, that's the end of it. Um, and we sort of just cut it off at that. There's been some discussions here and there, maybe a little pushback, but never any fights or anything. We love movies on The Big Short. We're headed towards another one. Yeah, we are. Also, that movie kind of sucks. Um, let's see. If I had to pick a JCVD movie for We Hate Movies, what would it be? Hmm. Knockoff. That would be fun. How did I survive the polar vortex? Okay, it was cold as shit, man. It was fucking brick in New York for a little bit. Um, Thoughts on Amazon picking up the rights for Zac Efron Ted Bundy flick at Sundance? It was actually Netflix that picked it up, and it's kind of a bummer. I was excited to see it, and I mean, now I guess I'll just watch it on my television. They said that there would be a fall qualifying run for it, which means it'll play in New York and Los Angeles, and that's it. Another come to Colorado vote. I would love to, believe me. Hopefully, we'll try to figure that out. Thoughts on BoJack? I loved that first season. I watched it twice in like a month. Watched the first two episodes of the second season and then just totally fell off of it for no reason other than I just watched too much stuff. What's my opinion on Remo Williams? I've never seen it. I know it's been requested a lot, but I've never actually seen it. Are you guys allowed to come to Canada? Well, I know I'm allowed in Canada. I go to Toronto every year. Um, but yeah, no, we're trying to figure out the whole Canada thing. Favorite craft beers? I really love Six Point Brewing Company. They are the shit. When we say ew on the show, we move our jaw back and forth like Ernest. No, that doesn't happen. Watch. Oh, ew. See? Now I'm just like dancing for you folks. We hate movies in New Orleans should happen. Oh fuck, man, somebody's coming back in a body bag. Favorite Muppet and favorite Sesame Street Muppet. Oh, here's Marty. Hey, Marty. Um, well, favorite Muppet is Kermit. Come on. Favorite Sesame Street Muppet? Grover. Well, hello, Flow Motion. I hope you are well also. Ernest Goes to Prison was my favorite. I believe it was Ernest Goes to Jail, was it not? And that was the one where he had like a double, and the double like crossed him or some shit, and he got sent to jail instead. Is Marty a good dog? Marty is the best dog. Um, Apologies to all other dogs out there, but I got news for you. Listener Request Month drawing on Thursday night. Yes, it is happening. Already going to apologize in advance if this lag is here. Again, if you know about that timestamp shit in OBS for Mac, at Jupin on Twitter, make me hip to that because I cannot fucking find it in this program. But anyway, yes, the We Hate Movies Listener Request Month drawing is happening Thursday night, 7 p.m. ish. All four fellas will be here. My dog is licking herself on the live stream. That's fantastic. Hey, hey, please. You're going out to the world. All right, let's take a couple more here. Have I watched The Good Place? Absolutely. It's one of the best shows on television right now. And not just because the fucking goat Ted Danson is in it. I think it's really great. I think it's some of the best writing. I love how it's constantly reinventing itself. And the cast is fucking amazing. Any chance Dark Phoenix will be awesome? Um, hmm. You know, I think I'm in that small group of folk that really like those, like Days of Future Past and Apocalypse and all that shit. I tend to have fun in X-Men movies, except for that Ratner and that fucking Origins. But other than that, I've found myself having fun with X-Men movies. So I think so. Why did Chris Cabin think Glass was good? He didn't think it was good. He thought it was interesting. I thought parts of the movie were good too, because there are good parts of that movie. It just sort of shits the bed at the end and really does not land. Thoughts on Bryan Singer? Yeah, looks like that dude's a fucking scumbag. Um, he should not be directing whatever the fuck he's slated to direct that I can't think of right now. That shouldn't be happening. Um, Excited for The Wicker Man? Yeah, I'm excited to rewatch that movie. I saw it in the theater, which was pretty pathetic. Who should play Wolverine if they reboot? John Hamm. I don't know. Someone the other day had a good casting for Wolverine. I can't remember what it was now. Zac Efron is Wolverine. He's tiny enough. You could make a more accurate to the comics Wolverine. I think he's a pretty short guy. Thoughts on Steve Jobs with Seth Rogen? What? Oh, does Seth Rogen play Steve Wozniak in that movie? If so, if that's the Ashton Kutcher one, I haven't seen it. Kermit Swamp Years for We Hate Movies. Nah, I can't. Dude, when they do like little Kermit the Frog and shit, I can't keep it together. I wouldn't be able to watch it without crying. Statham for Wolverine? Nah, I don't know. Do we periodically check Larry the Cable Guy's IMDb page to see if he's working on any new movies? Oh, we would know if Larry the Cable Guy had a new movie. I love you too, Matt Nelson. Steve Jobs is the one with Michael Fassbender, Jeff Daniels. Yeah, that's the Danny Boyle movie. Dustin Hoffman is Wolverine? Dustin Hoffman in Star Wars? Do I think Shyamalan will go back in movie jail? I don't think so. I think he's out. I think that's a jailbreak, man. Do an episode on the Pixar Cars movies. I saw that first one, fucking slept through like half of it. Favorite Fraggle Rock Muppet? Here's the thing with the Fraggles, man. I guess this is racist against Fraggles, but they all kind of blend together for me. I couldn't name you a Fraggle right now if you had a fucking gun to my head. Danny DeVito as Wolf Marine? What the fuck is Wolf Marine? Thank you, Kate. My sweater is really cozy, actually. Any thoughts on Reitman passing the torch for Ghostbusters? Well, who said nepotism in Hollywood is dead? Where does their eating garbage come from? I think that's that fucking crazy dude, Prison Planet. Another Alex Jones flunky person. I don't really know anything about it. This is the best question of the night. Do you think Kevin James will ever play a wacky ghost in a family movie? Oh man, legitimate laugh. Well, after that question, I fucking hope so. I would be first in line. Oh, that Ghostbusters is gonna suck, says someone. I mean, how do you know, man? You saw 10 seconds of footage. Um, I don't know. I'm I'm being cautious with Ghostbusters. I was fine with that last one. I thought the third act was kind of shitty. You know what will be a true achievement for Jason Reitman if he can make this Ghostbusters movie not end with whoever these Ghostbusters are fighting a tall thing walking down a street. That would be fucking fantastic. What kind of books do I like to read? Shit, man, I don't have a ton of time to read books. I tend to read more nonfiction than fiction. I read a lot of like the New Yorker and the Nation on the train. That's kind of my reading extent these days. Kevin James as Slimer, oh lord. Yeah, he could star in Fat Ghost. Larry the Cable Guy could play Slimer's like southern cousin. You would just basically make Slimer, but he's got like a camouflage hat on. Yeah. Favorite music? I love all kinds of music, man. I'll listen to most anything. I can't really dig on opera. That's sort of like that and like pop country, like nowadays, like modern country. Nah, can't hang with that. Dolph Lundgren Punisher, great movie. That would be a fucking total We Love Movie situation. Stoked for HBO's Watchmen? I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. Actually, the four of us were at a concert the other night. We were seeing this great band in Brooklyn called Bodega. Check them out. Um, and Eric brought up the show, and I totally forgot it was even coming to television. Favorite Goblin score? Oh fuck. Um, mm, Shit, that's a tough question. Did they do the music in Suspiria? Because if so, it's that. Um, Marty moved. Yeah, sometimes she moves. This is like I'm probably gonna take her out after this is over with. Do a little last call. Um, Favorite Miike film? Did he do Visitor Q? If so, it's Visitor Q. Catch him in bed with a goblin score. Indeed. Ghostbusters 2 gets a bad rap. Hey, man, we did an episode on it. I had my epiphany about it, but I'll still watch it. It's just clearly a cash grab, and they clearly don't want to be doing it. Like, just look at Bill Murray in that movie. Um, but it was the first Ghostbusters movie I saw, so it does have a special place in this heart of mine. How'd you guys start working with Philippe Sobrero for your art? Philippe contacted us at one point, I think, and it just started going from there. Check his stuff out. He's fucking awesome. He's in the process of designing some art for us for the tour that you'll see if you come out to the theaters to see us. Any Robert Rodriguez for We Hate Movies? Yeah, what was that fucking Once Upon a Time in Mexico with Johnny Depp? That movie's fucking shitty. Also, those Spy Kids movies, thanks but no thanks. Yeah, for a cash grab, you can still enjoy Ghostbusters 2. Absolutely. I mean, I still enjoy Ghostbusters 2. But I think it's just that acknowledgement of it's a cash grab, and that's fine. This new thing is a cash grab. I'm going to see it. Why don't I like the Goonies? Asks Kevin. Because the Goonies is a thing, I think anyway, that you need to see as a kid. And I didn't, and I just don't care. I know tons of people love it, and that's totally fine. But I didn't see it till I was an adult, and it just did not grab me. Just as I'm sure, if you saw something from my childhood that I liked, but you didn't see it until you were an adult, you might not, get hip to it necessarily. Am I a Mexican or a Mexicant? I don't know what that means. I eat Mexican food like 3 times a week, if that counts for anything. Only 16 minutes until you can listen to the new episode. Thank you, Lou Dog, for reminding me that, yes, indeed, coming up on the program in just a little bit, this guy, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, as we close out the Some of the Worst of 2018 series. Absolutely. Thoughts on Way of the Gun? I remember nothing about that movie. That came out right when I started working at my multiplex in high school. I don't remember a thing about it. My hobo sweater is dope. Let me tell you something, friend. No hobos wearing this sweater. It just looks like a hobo could be wearing this sweater. Machete? I don't know if Machete is an episode because like Machete is so self-aware. Like that movie knows what it's doing. You know what I mean? Like it knows what it is and it's not trying to be anything other than that. And I think if we were then to sort of pile on trying to make an episode out of it, it would just be kind of not great. Someone says hopes to see a lot more of this kind of thing in the future. Hey, I hope so too. I just really hope that I can also try to do this once without completely fucking up the tech behind it. So again, if you know anything about the OBS software and this fucking timestamp issue, which someone said a while back might be, the issue I'm having here, get at me on Twitter. Let me know. Or write into the mailbag, weallhatemovies@gmail.com. Better Off Dead or High Fidelity? High Fidelity every time. Have I seen any Russian Doll on Netflix? No, I actually just found out about that recently. I love Natasha Lyonne, so I do want to check that out. What period in my life did I watch the most movies, do I think? Multiplex days currently. That blissfully unemployed era I mentioned. The blissfully unemployed era was when I first moved to New York City, and Eric Siska and I lived in the same neighborhood. Um, Chelsea was very graciously allowing me to crash at her apartment during those days, and Eric and I actually sat around and watched a lot of like DVR'd or TiVo'd back then, as it was, bad TV. I didn't watch a lot of movies then. Multiplex days, I watched a lot of stuff because it was free and you could go to the movies. But I think now, where I have like literally two full time jobs where I have to watch movies, I'm watching the most movies now. And there's still not enough fucking time to watch everything, man. Is Independence Day a good or bad movie? It's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. It's not a fucking great movie, and I probably have a little bit of rose-colored glasses on it. But Jesus, compared to that sequel, it's a fucking masterpiece. Um, Steve trashed Empire Records. It broke your heart. Sorry, man. That one never grabbed me either. Heavyweights or Maverick as an episode? Why not both? Wow, someone says, is there a movie that's great but puts you to sleep? And they said The Big Lebowski does that for them. Yikes. That's one of my top four faves. Um, Comfort movies for a hard day. Funny enough, The Big Lebowski. For me, anyway. Um, Back to the Future also does it for me for sure. You know what's actually oddly comforting for me is all the Universal monster movies. I can put those on, and it sort of puts me in like a particular sort of mood that I just sort of really dig on. Um, Animated movies I found worse than Food Fight. Uh, I don't know. That's a bad movie. Um, Someone says, "Oh, we hate movies Night of the Roxbury." Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember a lot about that movie. I was never a fan of that sketch either. The Mummy with Brendan Fraser or The Mummy with Tom Cruise. The Fraser, man. That Tom Cruise movie put me right to sleep. Right to sleep. I think I fell asleep during that fucking plane crash at the beginning. True Stories is the ultimate comfort film. Good call. Love True Stories. Just recently purchased that on Criterion. Milk Money, yeah, that's probably an episode. What the fuck is Norm of the North? That's like the third person to mention it. I don't know what it is. Cool World, a possible episode? Yeah. Wow, best regards from Buenos Aires. Hey, man. Thanks for tuning in. All right. As we close in on the release of the episode here, just gonna take a couple more questions. I appreciate you all hanging out. I do apologize if that delay is still happening. Again, if you know the OBS broadcast software, please write into the mailbag and help me figure it the fuck out. What are my thoughts on Elaine May's films? Like a New Leaf. She's a genius. She's a fucking genius. And Ishtar, its failure at the box office when it came out, um, she she was put in movie jail when she did not deserve to be at all. It's fucking criminal what happened to that woman. She's a goddamn comedic genius. I just saw her on Broadway in the Waverly Gallery a couple months ago. She's the best. She's the absolute fucking best. And see Mikey and Nikki. I think that is her best movie. Um, can we expect another blank check WHM crossover sometime soon? Yeah, actually, we're trying to get those guys on here. One or both, we'll see. Um, our pivot to video is a lot of fun. Well, thank you. I'm glad people are having fun. Again, I'm sorry if it looks and sounds shitty. You're very welcome. I'm happy to answer your questions. Let's take a couple more, maybe. Did I catch the new Real Big Fish album? Absolutely. It is awesome. that is music that will make you feel happy even living in the current fucking shit show that is our existence right now. They're my favorite band of all time. I've seen them like 20 times. I was so happy that they put out a new album. Wow, thanks for asking about the new RBF album. Um, let's see. Is The Jerk a comedy masterpiece? I think it's Carl Reiner's best movie. I don't know if it's a masterpiece. I don't know how well it holds up. I haven't seen it in a while. Um, Basketball. I have not watched basketball in a long time. Um, yeah, all right. Thanks, Grass Valley Greg. I'm just sitting here, but it's still out of sync. And for me, that's a problem. Um, Eraserhead for We Love Movies. I don't know what the hell I would talk about. Honestly, I don't know how we would even begin to have a conversation about that movie. I feel like Eraserhead is a movie where you watch it and you just know that another person has watched it, and you're like, "Yeah, we both saw Eraserhead. That's fine." Um, yes, I do miss Scott Klopfenstein from Real Big Fish. He lives in Brooklyn, so he actually sometimes will join the guys when they come through the city, which is kind of cool. Um, you hope who Scott Klopfenstein is doing okay. He's doing totally fine. He's got kids, a wife. He's making music in Brooklyn. He's happy. I have not watched Velvet Buzzsaw yet. Heard nothing but terrible things. Preferred. I'm going to end on this. This is the last question of the night. Preferred pizza toppings. Um, I will eat pepperoni. I will eat sausage, mushrooms, onions, peppers, anchovies. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's pizza, man. I will eat it. So with that, I'm going to close out. Thanks so much for hanging out this evening. Again, if you know anything about this OBS software, get at me on Twitter. I'm at Jupin, Jupin, or write into the mailbag, weallhatemovies at gmail.com. I would love to get this thing figured the fuck out. So that's WHM Office Hours for this evening. Coming up in just 6 minutes, the final Worst of 2018 episode is dropping. It's on Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Until next time, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.